Hello everyone and welcome to another episode here in Saguaro Valley. Today's episode will basically be me destroying and rebuilding the downtown of the city. And that is because the old downtown just wasn't cutting it. I didn't like it, and I felt like it needed a replacement that'll be a more eye-pleasing build or downtown to look at. So as you can see right now, I'm basically just demolishing the entirety of the old downtown, and I'm starting to place down these older style buildings that serve as maybe like a small historic district or something that the city might have had one day in the past, obviously. I think Phoenix has something like this right next to the Chase building. It's basically, I think they're like these hotels, these older style hotels, but I think this theater that I'm placing down here and these buildings next to it, I think they do the job just nicely. And this is the part where I'm basically experimenting with a bunch of these new buildings that I managed to find on the workshop. Don't really quite know the name of them, but I will actually leave my brand new asset and mod list in the description. This episode was actually supposed to be the continuation of the airport, but the thing is, that work that I actually ended up doing in the airport was very small. Like, I literally just placed down a bunch of trees and detailed the little construction site that I had plotted out, and that's basically it. And so I didn't really think that was worth an entire episode to its own. So yeah, basically I was itching to work on this brand new downtown and just get to work on something else, because that airport just has me dead at this point. I do not want to look at it anymore. I've been working on that thing for like 2 weeks now, but yeah, right now you can basically see me plotting down these grids, or these like very square grids, and the reason for that is because basically downtown Phoenix is consisted of a bunch of these tiny square blocks that basically hold one building each inside of them, which I think is very interesting, because usually cities don't really do that. They have like larger blocks with more buildings inside them. It's kind of a weird way to explain it, but it's basically what it is. We are now getting into the more details-oriented part of the video, which is honestly just me placing down a bunch of more bushes and trees and stuff. But one thing that I want to mention is the fact that this episode is probably going to be the last episode where you guys see the usual Saguaro Valley intro, because I have been planning a new standardized intro for the series for quite a few weeks now. I've found a piece of music that I think will work great, and yeah, hopefully you guys will see that new intro in the next episode, and just tell me what you guys think of it. So yeah, stay tuned for that change in the series. Right now, I'm basically going back into what's on screen right now. I'm basically plotting down more props for different skyscrapers to give them like a little plaza area around them, just so that they're not left all barren and stuff. Right now I'm working on a construction site, which I actually stole off of Prez's Columbia City episode. I don't remember which one it was specifically, but he used this asset and I kind of just fell in love with it, and I was like, how do I get my hands on that asset? And yeah, I managed to find it on the workshop. It's this little construction site, and yeah, it looks amazing here where I managed to place it. So after I got the main structure and skyline for the downtown finished, I ended up having these just empty lots just scattered across or around the downtown, and I didn't, as I usually do on this channel, I didn't finish the downtown completely. I still definitely have a lot of areas that I need to work on and improve, but right now I'm just trying to fill in some of these empty lots with, for example, right now an apartment complex, nothing too insanely detailed or well planned out, but eye-pleasing enough from a distance. And but yeah, I end up basically placing down these like empty parking lots that have been abandoned and just left to crumble under the weather and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of parking lots in this particular side of town. For some reason, like, this city just has like half of an entire block just dedicated to parking. It's not surprising because I obviously live here, but the fact that there's just so much empty space just devoted to cars is just astonishing to me, because looking at other world-class cities and stuff like that, they don't really have this much parking. If anything, they just hide it underground, but here it's just, land is cheap and there's just a lot of empty spaces around the city just devoted to cars and parking. So it's something I try to replicate here with having so many just flat areas. And yeah, you can see me working on this abandoned parking lot right now. Just the fact that there's abandoned parking lots just near the downtown is crazy, because you'd imagine that the land value there is just so much higher and they want to use the land more productively or efficiently. But it is what it is, so I'm building this abandoned parking lot that's just left to crumble. There's dirt everywhere, there's rubbish everywhere, plants are starting to grow in between the cracks and stuff like that. So yeah, you can try to place these palm trees in a way that kind of would make sense. Like, obviously there used to be a used parking lot here before, and it had its own decorations and stuff with the trees and stuff, so I tried to plant them in areas that would make sense and would pay homage to what was once there. Maybe little islands of greenery, or I don't know really what they would be called. These containers are something that I want to look into replacing, because those are the vanilla ones, and I do not really like the way those look. They're a bit too bright for my taste. But yeah, here you can see me placing down a bunch more industry mixed in with a little bit of commercial, just to get some use out of the land, I guess, around here, which is typically what's around these areas anyway. It's basically just a bunch of restaurants and small businesses. There tend to be a lot of good local eateries around here too, so what you can see me building right now is this kind of state Capitol building kind of thing. It's not really realistic to have like this huge skyscraper here, but I think the architecture just works perfectly because of the brutalist, modernist architecture that this building has. But yeah, we are now getting close to the end of the episode, so with that being said, I just want to take a moment to quickly thank you all for just being here, I guess, and watching these videos in my Saguaro Valley series. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in episode 15 with a brand new intro.